Ale, ale, ale. Ale, ale, ale. Come on, baby. Another win. Another win for Arnis Slot and his boys. And man, it feels good to be a Red today, man. It really does. And it keeps getting sweeter and it keeps getting better after a little skid that we had in February. But we're back. And thankfully we're in a title race with Arsenal. Because it doesn't get easier than this. 13 points clear at the top, boys. Celebrate today. I know there's still work to be done. Job is not finished. I'm not celebrating the title today, but let's celebrate this win today and the fact that Arnis Slot has turned this team into winning machines, man. Impressive performance. Liverpool only need 88 points to clinch the title. They'll need to win the next 7 games. A majority of those games are at Anfield, the fortress today. Shout out to Anfield. Blue collar Wednesdays, baby. And it was jumping, it was lively, and it was hell for Newcastle. And we know they had a couple of their key men out today, but this was a great performance by Liverpool as a whole, as a team. Dominik Szoboszlai gets another goal for this Liverpool side, and he's becoming more and more important to this side as it continues to go on. And I think we're going to look back at some of these performances from Dominik Szoboszlai, and we're going to be saying that that was one of the reasons why we ended up winning this title was because of him, especially in early February, where he was like one of our best players, if not our best player, all of February when we were in that tough stretch, and he just continues to improve and get better. And now he's adding goals and assists to his game. You just wait until season 3 Szoboszlai locks in, man. It's going to be game over. And I feel like every player just goes up another level. Every time we see him, and McAllister was absolutely outstanding today. Was an unsung hero for me today. Controlled a lot of that midfield. I'm glad he got a goal today to kind of break his duct of not scoring for a little bit. But does he score regular goals, or are they all just bangers? You guys got to tell me below. And got to bring up Anfield again. The energy was just outstanding. It was amazing, and they responded to our captain VVD, who asked Anfield and begged Anfield to be at the top of their game, and they were today. And big shout out to Lucho, who is my Neymar light when he's on his game, right? Less Tekken, which shout out to Reese calls him Tekken, and more control, more directness, more decisiveness. And today he chose violence, and he was close to my man of the match today. But I got to go with the King Mo Salah. You guys got to tell me who your man of the match was down below. Is it Lucho? Is it Mo? Is it Szoboszlai? Is it Maka? There's a lot of guys out there that had an outstanding game today. But for me, it's Mo Salah. And at this point, it's getting ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 52 goals and assists this season. Absolutely outstanding. And it's a Ballon d'Or season for him. I don't feel like there's another player on this planet that's better than Mohamed Salah right now. And long may it continue. But let's talk about some of the defensive lapses that we kind of had a little bit in that game. It wasn't a completely perfect match. I know Slot will be 100% happy with that, but we had to button some of those things up. Newcastle's forwards were getting free. Thankfully, a lot of those were offsides, but I'm just being nitpicky a little bit. We'll want to, obviously get better there because I think other teams will definitely take advantage of this. But could this midfield 3 already be better than Hendo, Fab, and Genie? I think that they might actually, and I think this midfield 3 probably is the best in the world. And if they get a Premier League and another Carabao Cup this season, I think they're going to be close. I know that midfield 3 won everything, right? But to be able to do this in their second season together, it's crazy, guys. I don't think we understand what's actually happening with this midfield 3. And that turns out to be George Smedka. Thank you. If I see you in person, I'm gonna give you a kiss. You were hated on for absolutely no reason for that window. You got us Indo, you got us Maka, you got us Sabo, and you got us Gravenberg. Oh my goodness. For I believe it was 120 million dollars for all 4 of those players. Unbelievable window when you look back at it in hindsight, and probably will win us a title this season with that midfield 3, because I think that midfield 3 is so important, so key in how Liverpool play, and has contributed a whole ton to Mohamed Salah having the season that he's having because he has legs behind him, because he has a Szoboszlai behind him that is willing to work his ass off and play in 2 and 3 different positions at one time, because you have a McAllister who isn't playing in his favorite number 10 position, but is playing in that box to box 8 and is in every challenge and gets stuck in and fights for every single ball. And you have Ryan Gravenberch that's behind him, who is basically a wet freaking blanket back there and is able to just snuff out everything and then gracefully dance away from you and make you look silly. This midfield three is ridiculous. And let's keep in mind, these guys are 23, 24, and 22 years old. This could be a 7-8 year midfield that haven't even hit their prime yet. And I think they're one more piece that they can swap in and out away from being a generational midfield. Unbelievable. Already at 100 goal scorer, 101 goals scored this season. You have to feel that this side will be able to do anything. You have to feel that they feel that they can do anything and they can accomplish anything this season. And it's hard for me to doubt them. I think that they can. I think they can go all the way with multiple titles this season. It's going to be up to them on how much they want this, and if they're not going to let some of these results get to their head a little bit, which is what we don't want to see, right? We don't want them reading those headlines a little bit too soon, but it does feel good. It feels different than where we were than last season, right? Which we are in a similar spot. Not clear by as many points, which I don't think is by very much, by the way, according to last week's points that we were at. But it felt like we were running out of steam at this point, right? Right before that Carabao Cup final versus this season, it feels like we have an extra gear and we actually have more in the tank now than we did last season. I think the sky is the limit for this team. So what does this mean? That Arsenal draw moves us 13 points clear. This is the year. And I've been saying that since November, y'all. And I know that was soon, but I've been saying it since November that this Arnis Slot team is doing something special. And I'm sure if you do not believe now, you do now. Believe in this team. And it's like what Arnis Slot said, that we don't want you to dream. We need you to dream. We need you to dream. And Slot is doing in one season says so much with the exact same squad as there was last season with the previous manager, says so much about him as a manager and says so much about modern day management that you can come in. You don't need $100 million. You don't need $200 million to bring in your players. You need to be a good coach. You need to be a good coach. And you need to use, and my wife, she uses, I know this is completely just out of left field. She says this all the time, that what separates good interior designers from great interior designers is being able to make something new with what you already have. And I think it's the same thing with managers, is that can you make something new with the players that you have? Can you coach? Which is what coaching is. Can you actually coach a team and a player to be better than they actually are and get more out of them than they thought they ever could? And Arne Slot is a fantastic coach. I don't think no manager will do what he's going to be able to do this season for years to come. He has set a standard and he's brought that to this team, and it needs to be commended. He's relentless. His desire to improve and be perfect is absolutely contagious, and he doesn't accept anything less. And I love it. It's exactly what this LFC side needed, going from the Klopp era to the Arne Slot era. He's cold, he's calculated, and he was relentless. And it's transferred to the players. You can see that on the pitch. And have we seen a greater season, first season from a manager in the Premier League? I don't know. Jose Mourinho is the only one that I can really think of. At the end of this year, we will see what this man can accomplish. And I think it's going to be a lot. And being able to pull out a season like this from Mo Salah and gear the team towards his strengths and have him put a generational season on has to be commended. And I know a lot of people are going to be talking about, well, Mo is scoring most of the goals. If it wasn't for Mo, you guys wouldn't be. But he's in the team, and he has a coach that knows how to use him. That's my rebuttal to that. The goals and the assists and not just that, but the work rate. How many times does he get back and help cover Mo Salah? How many times does he get back and recover a ball? How many times does he outside of the boot and just absolutely lays on a plate for another player to get a goal? Unbelievable player who's hitting his prime in his 30s. absolutely insane. Joke of a player, joke of a manager together. I hope they become a match made in heaven. We see more of this moving forward, and he figured out how to way to get even more from Mo Salah as he continues to age, and that contract gets signed. The leadership from top to bottom from Mo also needs to be commended. This is a Mo and Slot kind of. Let's talk about it, baby. Let's give these boys some love, baby. But the leadership from Mo Salah from top to bottom has to be applauded, and it's joked about a lot that he's always in the gym. You know, Mo's always taking pictures of only him and the goal scorers. That's the psychological thing. That's something that Kobe Bryant would do. That's Mamba mentality. Because now, when the other players see that picture go up on Instagram, they're gonna, I want to be in that picture. I want to be in the picture with Mo. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't be in the picture. You didn't score today, right? And if you've ever been in a team with a player that demands intensity and he demands greatness like that, you have a teammate that does that, not just the coach, but you have a teammate that doesn't expect anything less, where he's going in interviews and he's saying, we have top three players in the world in each position, we should be winning everything. You need that from a leader, you need that from a player, and he's refusing to have anything less from his players, and I love that about Mo Salah. So let's talk about some of the goals and then what this means happening next. Lucho was on fire today. This is the version of him that we all want to see. He's like Neymar light, top-notch skill, setting up Dominik Szoboszlai, which made the finish easy for him. He keeps finding himself in space as a number 10 should. Dominik Szoboszlai does. And you think it boils down to teams trying to shut Ryan down, which they're putting 2 and 3 players on. But Ryan being able to wiggle his way through and able to find, and players able to find Szoboszlai in those pockets of space in front of goal, which is exactly what you need from him. So I love it. Sabo's finally making him pay for it. He's finally shoot. And Macca, the meat. Don't ask me what that means. But he was able to get his goal today. Fantastic play to set him up in space. I thought we were overplayed it a little bit, but Mo Salah, he corrected me and checked me on that. And Macca, what another banger. Worked his ass off today. Well-deserved goal. So what is next? We got a little bit of a break coming up after the next game. I think Liverpool continue to march on, man. The fact that these games are, most of them are at home to Anfield is a huge, huge plus. I think if we button up maybe one, maybe 2 more games, I think this league title's in the bag, because Arsenal look toothless right now. So they're the only team we need to worry about. And once the league is mathematically won, knowing Arnis Slot, he's probably going to wait until that happens. He's not going to start taking his foot off the pedal thinking that he's already won it. Once it's mathematically won, you can expect them to probably start resting some of these players or rotating some of these players in league matches to try to steal 1, maybe 2 more trophies. Let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell us where you're watching from so we can continue to build this community everywhere. I got some special shout outs, of course. Before I let you guys go, we got people watching from Singapore. We got Jamaica. We got Hungary. We got Cape Town. And we got Miami. I told y'all I'd show y'all some love in the next video. So I appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. Boom.